do? You're not an engineer. You're not a designer. You can't put a hammer to a nail. I built the circuit board. The graphical interface was stolen. So how come 10 times in a day, I read Steve Jobs as a genius? What do you do?
Musicians play their instruments. I play the orchestra.
A screenplay by Aaron Sorkin, directed by Danny Boyle, Michael Fassbender as the lead, and a character study of one of the most compelling men of the last century, if not all time. The recipe for what should be a fantastic film. But I would say that most people's feelings going into Steve Jobs were trepidatious at best. After multiple casting switch-ups and even a studio change, no one knew if this movie would actually be any good. Myself chief among them, despite the fact that my favorite director and actor were attached. But don't fret. Steve Jobs is every bit as phenomenal as its ingredients would suggest. The movie takes place, for the most part, before the reveal of 3 products that Jobs was instrumental in creating: the original Macintosh, the Nextcube, and the iMac. And trust me, it's a lot more interesting than it sounds. The products are not the point. What the point is that these moments serve as the perfect framing device for Jobs' mindset and his position at the time, and allows for an awful lot of history to be condensed into a 2-hour film. The dialogue cracks like a whip, and while Sorkin's writing has kind of become a little self-indulgent in recent years, with this movie, that's the whole point. It works flawlessly, and it's aided by its great cast. Everyone is brilliant in this film. Kate Winslet is brilliant, Jeff Daniels is brilliant, and yes, even Seth Rogen is pretty fucking brilliant. But Michael Fassbender is the one who truly shines on the screen, more so in this role than I think any other role he's had, and that is really saying something. Yes, I may have a man crush on the guy, let's move past it. Fassbender absolutely dominates the screen for the entire run of the film, and masterfully shows Jobs' growth over the 20 or so years. He may not look like the guy, he may not sound like the guy, but by the end of the movie, I promise you, you'll believe he is the guy. This movie will probably be up for a lot of awards this season, but none of them as deserved as Fassbender for Best Actor. Danny Boyle knows exactly how to utilize him, and there's so much interesting history left that the movie doesn't cover that you wish it kind of just kept going through the iPod, iPhone, iPad, and up to Steve's death. Speaking of Danny Boyle, biopic was such a great choice for this director. Someone who's done everything already, from horror to thriller to dark comedy to sci-fi to Bollywood. Since the beginning of his career, he has proven he is an absolute natural in every genre he touches, and biopic is no different. He knows exactly what works and he cranks it to 11. In addition, the aesthetic choice of using the camera technology from each time period not only adds further layers of authenticity, but really makes you believe that what you're seeing on screen is an accurate retelling of the events. And just so we're clear, that is not the case at all. But just like David Fincher's The Social Network, which was also written by Aaron Sorkin, the liberties taken with the history are both necessary and successful. It's okay to still be a little wary of this film. I would be too. And no matter what you may think of the man, the movie isn't going to change your opinion of him. It makes absolutely no judgments. It really asks you to do that for yourself. So, when the movie opens for wider release on October 23rd, I implore you to do exactly that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome